är nya Casumo.com här. Just nu får du dubbelt på kontot och 110 gratis chanser att vinna storkovan. Casumo, ett kasino. Casumo.com.
All right, man, it looks like it's going to be another B-split push coming up here, standard as could be for the T side.
Yeah, they are getting ready for it right now. They've got 2 people coming out through the middle, 3 people through upper dark at the moment. There's counter-terrorist holding 1 guy inside the B-bomb site, 1 guy down towards the middle of the map.
Yeah, that B-slope man on the CT side is going to be the linchpin here. T side, they've managed to put the CT smoke down. No support coming in from the A site here for the defense. It's all going to come down to the entry shots here, the man making the plan.
It's getting kind of cold in here.
Hey man, did you leave the window open?
I don't think so. This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. Remember, all I'm offering is the truth. You can take the blue, or the red pill, or the green one.
What? There's a green one? Sweet.
Alright, welcome back everyone. Once again, we are returned here, and this time it's time for Fnatic up against dAT team in a best of 3 to decide who's going to be the king of this week's Caseking of the Hill, cooled by Alpenföhn. So welcome to the show. I'm Anders. Of course, with me, well, I say similar, but obviously his chair is suspiciously empty, but certainly Vendetta's here with me. So what's up, Ven?
Not much. Just waiting for this last game of the night to get started.
Yes, I mean, the first game went to all 3 maps, which is great. It ended up an overpass, and it was that team who took it away from London Conspiracy. Now we're going to have to see if they can match an opponent that is undoubtedly, well, seems like the strongest in the world right now. Fnatic are just looking absolutely devastating, so it's going to be a really tough one. Before we get into it, guys, remember we have some giveaways later on. One of them is a CPU cooler. We already gave away one of these headsets, and if you win neither of those, you can still win in the Facebook raffle. It's going on underneath the page, so click that raffle button, like the Facebook page, and you can win a graphics card from Asus, a GeForce card. Really nice one, so definitely don't miss out on that, and you can win in the upcoming weeks as well. So yeah, keep liking the page, and you will have a good chance of winning. Now, we will switch it over because we do have some subscriber giveaways as well, which is pretty cool. One of them is this M4A4 Asimov that we'll be giving away thanks to the one dude, one of our lovely subs, and the other one is this knife that is going to be giving away to one lucky subscriber, and that's thanks to Stony, who's already been giving us so much stuff, so it's very, very cool. We appreciate that, Stony, once again. But before we do any of that, we're going to be headed into the game, which is going to be on Mirage for the first one.
Yes.
And you're back, Sam.
Short and sweet, Sam. Short and sweet.
Yes, we will. It's going to be the final. This is it. And it's going to be very interesting maps. We talked about it briefly before getting into this. Or before, you know, the break, basically. But Mirage, Nuke, and Inferno to sort things out. I really like it. This is very interesting. It's not the maps that we get to see too often. We did see Mirage already tonight, and Fnatic are pretty damn good at Mirage. dAT still managed to play very well on Mirage, but LC took that, so we'll see, you know, how they measure up there. But Nuke for the second map, that's really interesting, because how are Fnatic going to measure up versus a team like dAT on that map?
I don't know. Fnatic have been looking shaky on Nuke, right? They ended up beating Virtus Pro, but Virtus Pro were also looking shaky, so I really don't know. I suspect that the Ukrainian squad might actually have a real chance of upsetting Fnatic on that map.
They might. I mean, this is the thing. Well, it's like they could. It really comes down to like the power of World Edit, right? And the power of basically like Olofmeister JW. Like, is it going to be coming down to just an aim battle, or are dAT really going to have some refined strats that they can start throwing at Fnatic? Because that T side is going to be brutal. For whichever team starts on T side, you know, you're going to have to get a strong start. We know that Fnatic certainly have the aim. I think what's going to make the difference here is World Edit and a combination of World Edit and basically perhaps dAT having put some work into Nuke, so they have a game plan going into this map. Which is probably why they would even leave it in the pool like this. They feel comfortable. And perhaps they were thinking that Fnatic would ban it out, but, you know, because Fnatic always ban out Nuke, but somehow it winds up in the pool, so I hope that both of these teams are going to be prepared.
Well, we did see Fnatic play Nuke very recently, so it seems like, well, actually this is something Fnatic have done more and more often. If they have a map that they haven't played in a while, or they don't really tend to play, it's their veto map, more or less, they have a tendency to actually play that and kind of take the official games as proper practice as well. So they force themselves to play it so they can be, you know, a master of every map in the current map pool, and that's what they did with Mirage when it came out, right? But nobody wanted to play it. Fnatic were the team who actually put down the work and put in the time to actually be extremely solid on that map. So maybe that's what they want to do with letting these maps through.
It could well be. I mean, you know, if you're going to practice Nuke, maybe doing it against that is a safe choice because you feel like you're individually going to outskill them, but maybe it's not. I'm surprised. I am surprised by the fact that that map stayed in, and we'll have to figure out how it's going to be going down. But now we have the knife round ready. So welcome to the show, everyone. This is Room on Fire and the Caseking of the Hill, cooled by Alpenföhn. It's week 8 that we've got going on here, and it's the final match of the evening between Fnatic and dAT team. Best of 3 just starting, so if you're only just joining us, you're just on time for some really interesting action here. Flusher having a bit of a weird duel with 3 members. Not sure what this is about. I mean, I think Fnatic are going to be fine on Mirage either way. I think it's going to be really hard for that team to win on this map against Fnatic.
Agreed. It's definitely going to be tough. I mean, Fnatic, there's no getting around it, basically. Fnatic, you know, we were talking about it at the beginning of tonight, basically. We were going over the teams that were going to be participating in this week's Caseking of the Hill. But just last week, Fnatic 16-0'd NiP. And that was like the first time in NiP's, like, I think competitive careers, basically, that they get 16-0'd. Fnatic were the team to deliver that beating. So Fnatic are looking to be in fantastic shape. I think, what was it, like 14-0 right now in this month? Like, they haven't dropped a map this month. Like, that, this is definitely the team to beat. And if that team were to make a name for themselves, talk about the opportunity right here. You beat Fnatic in a best of 3. That's asserting yourselves on the world map right there.
Oh yeah, that definitely makes some waves. I think I shudder to imagine what the betting tendency is like. I actually haven't checked. Maybe I should go and check on CS:GO Lounge real quick because that could be interesting. Right now, it is 91% in favor of Fnatic and 9% in favor of that team. So if there is somehow an upset that's going to be happening here, if somehow it ends up with that winning against Fnatic, my God, there's going to be a lot of anger all around. But that's just
there's going to be a lot of skins lost. That's for sure.
What is it? I mean, do we have to quote Star Wars like every time? But you know, there's going to be a great disturbance, and thousands of voices will cry out in pain, and you know, basically, it's going to be a vacuum. There's going to be a black hole in the CS:GO servers. They're just going to suck all those skins into the nothing, into the nether, and then like spit them back out again to like the 10% that bet on that.
Exactly.
There will be a disturbance in the force for sure.
I always want to be in that 10% whenever I go betting, so I have lost some pretty crazy bets on just thinking maybe today's going to be the day where, you know, it's the 10% that win, but then it isn't. Painful stuff.
Never.
Horrible memories.
Just kiss your acid mobs goodbye.
Oh, I have similar. I have.
Oh yes. How many do you have now, though?
Then I win them back again. I don't know. It's been a little bit up and down for me recently. I think I am now in the last week or something. I had like $500 up basically. But you know, before that, I think I was actually close to 1,000 down. So that's scary. You know, once you hit the 1K mark, you lose like $1,000 in a row in skins. I mean, it's a virtual currency. You do start to get a little bit annoyed.
just a little.
Just a little bit, right? But I haven't bet on this game. I stay away from betting on games that I'm casting because that's even more stressful. I did it a couple of times earlier in the year, and it really was actually just not a lot of fun. So now I just don't do it anymore. dAT versus Fnatic. Now we're finally back on, and that team did win the knife round, not surprisingly. So they're going to be starting on the CT side.
Yeah, and look at Fnatic. They're going 4 guys up into A apartments right now, 1 in pit. That team, however, are focusing heavily on mid. They've got 3 guys looking towards this mid area, 1 looking towards underpass, but that's Blade. Fnatic could potentially have a huge timing to hit on this A site if they were to figure this out.
That would be nice. Blade looking up here, looking for a headshot. He sees everyone, and he's going to pick up Olofmeister first, so a decent start for the CT side. Bondic trying to hit another headshot here. And Fnatic, well, Crims is going to be able to put the bomb down here. There's a lot of grenades, though, on that team, actually. They could actually go for a decent retake here if they just keep everyone alive. And they're going to take down Pronax as well. And there's JW going down. This is looking very good.
All of a sudden, yeah, a 2-on-4 retake situation. Now Crims alive at the back of the site. Instant headshot on Blade. That was very nicely done, but then World Edit somehow catches him through the box. That was a sick headshot there. No kit picked up on that. They're really counting on them actually keeping Flusha off their back. Prizrak trying his best, but Prizrak, he's actually going to go for the knife. He's going to get the knife kill. Prizrak!
Oh my God, what did we just see? He was actually body blocking him. He's like, fight me one-on-one. Just don't kill the guy defusing. That was a wonderful moment. And that team are going to win it with a knife kill as well. That's a great start to a game right there.
That was amazing. That was masterful. That was everything right there. Fnatic have got to be railing. Flusha, you knew he was just hunting for world edit. He's like, I just gotta stop the guy from defusing, and I've won this round. But Prizrak was like, nope, knife to the face. That was sick, and he gets that 1,500 bucks as well. He's gonna have some nades, and well, Prizrak instantly gets picked off here. This is gonna be a rifle now for Fnatic to use. Fnatic getting out onto this B site very quickly here.
Yeah. Oh, but then Blade and World did come back in. I was going to say this could have been a terrible round. A great entrance from Fnatic into this bomb site, taking out Prizrak and Flamey without actually losing anyone. So, good job from that to stabilize, but also a little bit scary that it went so well for Fnatic early on.
Yeah, Prizrak went down. I don't think... Did he even do a single point of damage? Like, from his weapon? I think he just got zoned out completely by the flashes and then just died. That's obviously not the start you want to your B defense, but clean it up pretty nicely, and then it's still a really good anti-eco for that team. And it seems like Fnatic are trying one more time.
Yeah, they're going to go for it. Prizrak may be in a slightly better position here, and he's going to get jumped on. Burst fire from Olofmeister will pick up the kill, and it's going to be a bomb plant again here for Fnatic. Very interesting.
So yeah, so far, Fnatic, they're just finding these plants time and time again. Pernax will pick off World Edit as well. These are very costly rounds right now for dAT. They can't be too pleased with the results, but Flusha about to eat a nade. He's going to get knocked down so low. Bondic will be able to push forward and pick up the frag, but there are still Fnatic members alive on this site.
And now JW's in a tricky position. He's going to pick up the one kill, and he can just hide up here. Blade can't really do anything. He's going to peek out, and JW gets the shot with the Glock, and that team will lose the third round. So, first time they came close, Fnatic. Next time, I mean, they just decided it was going to be that round, and they did it.
And again, it's Prizrak, I think, has to take the main brunt of the fault, really, for not doing anything at all. I think he put Olofmeister down to 39 HP, and that was it. And that's not good enough if you're holding that B side so alone as he was doing. But yeah, great.
Please, Flusha, why did you do that? Just clicking through the smoke, taking down World Edit. Prizrak with a good return, but has only 14 bullets left in that C set, 75, and it's not enough to bring down JW. That was just madness from Flusha. Just Flusha
things. Yeah, it's just Flusha things, right? The hashtag, it has to live. Every single time we watch Fnatic, every single time, Flusha finds a new way to revive the hashtag. And now Blade, he's actually managed to pick up World Edit's AWP, so this is nice. He's going to be able to hold on to this gun. But look at Fnatic, like, they know exactly what he's up to. They aren't giving him any time to back off or anything like that. They're leaving Flusha behind to mind the bomb, but they're already out and hunting for that rifle. They do not want to let Blade get away with it. And this is definitely the right move for Fnatic. They have money on their side. They can afford to throw away a couple guns hunting down this rifle.
Yeah, it'd be really big if they could take it away from him. Grenade in here, and Blade misses the shot. He doesn't realize that JW is so low that he can actually just get killed with the pistol. And it will be Olofmeister to finish the round, and no AWP saved. So it's going to be right back to ecoing for the CT side.
Well, now the question is for dAT, how do they bounce back from this situation? Because, okay, they just got 1,400 there. We can see they're all floating around like the $200 mark. They're going to get 1,900 in the next round. I mean, it's like, do they go for a buy? We've seen how patient they can be in the past, and that best of 3 versus LC, this was a team that was willing to eat eco rounds in order to full buy. So do they demonstrate that same level of patience here in this match?
Well, given how well World Edit did in that best of 3 versus LC, I think they're well in their right to actually do so, because he has been so important for them all game long, or today so far. So why not give him the opportunity? It's still early in the game, so if you fall behind 4-2, it's not the end of the world.
Indeed, it isn't. They did get a kill on Crims so far, but now they're I think they're just hanging back, looking for a couple of exit kills. If they could pick up 1 or 2 more, that'd certainly be very nice. Fnatic obviously going to take the round lead here and make it 3-2. And, yeah, I think I appreciate that. Just, you know, playing it cool as they can right now.
Yeah, exactly. No, World Edit. JW is not to be fooled. There's no sneaking up on JW. And this is going to be dAT, or just Bondic kind of sneaking up towards B apartments. He may be able to catch Olofmeister off guard here. Olofmeister, not sure if he saw anybody there. Bondic could have a golden opportunity, however, to catch him off guard. And there you go, instant kill. And he even saves the AWP. This is fantastic. This is definitely going to be a buy now from dAT.
Olofmeister was scoped up and everything. That was just a very fast reactions from Bondic. Nicely done.
Alright, let's see. How do they go about this now? Because dAT have gone for a buy. They've got the 4 rifles. They've got the AWP for World Edit. World Edit already floating around window, but we saw what Flusha did to him there last time, so he's got to be a little bit careful. He's about to eat a sick nade right on top of him, drops him down to 60 HP, so that's not the best start. But they're already putting pressure on this A site. The bomb is up. JW taking point. Crims will find the headshot on Blade. Bondic still alive, however. Gets up on the balcony. He could find Crims, and he will, but Crims gets the kill.
Oh, now World Edit here is going to pick off Crims crossing over. It's a very important kill. That could have been an instant bomb plant. All of Meister's going to take down Flamey, and then World Edit through the smoke. Wow. Nicely done. That's going to be that team winning the round. And there were a couple of nice little details that they threw in from the CT side here. One of them being the flashbang that went up from shadows. It bounced off the wall and then popped sort of in the middle of the site. That's one thing, but then they actually peeked from shadows and from inside the A-bomb site, both peeking out towards the Tetris boxes right here. So a nice little detail from the CT side, just trying to get those early kills.
And speaking of early kills, JW bringing the off right back in the face of that, picking off Bondic. So that's obviously a good start for them. And they seem like they do a lot of the same things we saw them do versus Overgaming, actually. Right now, they're doing smoking off the entirety of mid and basically just bum rushing catwalk.
Yeah, they aren't even wasting much time at all. JW's already on the other side of the map looking towards Banana. Or looking towards B, rather, B apartments, but he's not going to find anybody there. Prizrak is holding fairly far back on the site, and that team for now, or at least, are really just trying to chill out, it seems. World Edit is looking towards short to see if he can catch anybody trying to make their way towards that B site right now, but Fnatic are currently boxed in. I think they're both stacked up in the house. They're not really going anywhere.
Olaf Meister's going to break that hold by killing someone up from the apartments here. World Edit will take him down, but they are going to lose the B-bomb site here. Prizrak, not sure he could do anything. He already gets tagged up when JW through the wall then. And now there are 4 members, and he should try and fall back and save this rifle.
He's looking like he wants to. And I mean, World Edit is already on the other side of the map right now. It's basically a 1v4 situation because World Edit is already on the other side of the map. He's nowhere near to help. And the problem is that they're about to get cut off at this point. Fnatic are already moving onto that A site. So there's no getting out of CT at this point for Priz. He's going to get boxed in.
They just shoot through the box. They just have no patience, Fnatic. They're not even going to go and try and play any kind of game with him.
Question is now, does World Edit live through this? Pronax is very, very sneakily trying to check angles right now.
This is going to be really tough. They're both coming around the corner. He's going to miss the first shot, down to 80, and Pronax will finish him off. So no rifle saved once again, and we're straight back into an eco for the CT side. This is very bad for them, because I think you were right earlier when you said earlier when they were playing on Mirage against a London Conspiracy, World Edit with the AWP was a really big factor. And now it's going to be really hard for him to get one.
It is. It's going to be really tough. With the mining situation right now, we might see a double eco coming out from that team unless they want to force things up, which, judging from what we've seen earlier, that's not very likely. And Fnatic are also doing a really good job of actually just smoking off everything in mid. And right now, Fnatic, with Olafmeister and JW, are going to work on that B-bomb site, and it's all left to Bondic and World Edit. And Pronax is already waiting for World Edit.
Yeah, kind of a crazy entrance, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But back to the point I was making, they're doing a really good job of more or less negating World Edit's impact, because Pronax, pretty much every round, Fnatic decides to go towards mid. They have Pronax standing outside of the B apps entrance, putting down a smoke from there, landing on like the 4th step in the connector, which smokes off the entirety of that area. So you can't do the normal peek when you kind of assume that CPL is going to get smoked off. You normally take the off towards the connector area to get a angle on the guys coming up from mid. World Edit has pretty much no angle to actually hold mid from, and you don't want to go too aggressive or too crazy with an op in your hand. So Fnatic are just doing a really good job of making him as useless as possible.
And the Ukrainian team has gone for a double eco this time around, which they did earlier as well, and it actually paid off really well for them. So it makes a lot of sense here for them to do that. See if they can somehow outscope Fnatic when it gets a little bit later here. JW charging in, CZ75 in hand, and instantly picks up another couple of pistols here. And every pistol he picks up only has 1 or 2 bullets, so he just keeps shuffling them out. It's Bondic coming up from behind, and a bit of a ninja mission.
Yeah, he's actually in a pretty good position right now. I'm curious if they're going to catch on to the fact that there's going to be a guy in B apartments. Well, Flusha spots him out immediately by doing a bit of the jump, catches him out. JW gets the tag, but Pronax will get the frag. And oh, 6 rounds now for Fnatic. And now we have that double eco panning out here for dAT. They've got the AWP. No double AWP plays for dAT, actually. It's all about world edit pretty much for these guys. 4 rifles on the rest of them. So there is no like double AWP play that they go to try and throw Fnatic off their game. They're really just interested in getting world edit with a sniper rifle and letting him go to work.
And they have a very similar setup here at the A-bomb side, like they've had a couple of rounds now. And it's going to be tested really, really seriously now, because Fnatic are coming. They're sneaking their way in, Fnatic, and this is interesting. There's no flash, there's no smoke. They're just walking in, and look at this. When Blade repeaks, he has no clue. There's no indication that this is happening. Bondic with a great double pick-off, runs out of bullets, world edit with a kill as well. Pistol's going to be out here, and they clean it up anyway. What an insane hold from that team, because I actually think Fnatic, I think that kind of push that Fnatic just did would catch a lot of teams completely off guard.
Absolutely, and I think it's partly due to, the reason why that didn't work out was obviously Bondic did a great job of staying alive and actually picking up frags from the shadow area, but also Pronax. Pronax was standing a meter away from World Edit inside the smoke for the longest time, and as soon as he heard that World Edit is working toward or rotating over towards the stairs, or as soon as he gets a kill, Pronax just needs to jump on that and try to get behind World Edit as quickly as possible and limit the damage he can do. And unfortunately, he wasn't able to do that.
Oh, Flusha goes down. Flamey in front of the flames. Going to be taking down Flusha, so it's a great early kill, but are they going to realize there's a guy in the whorehouse? They won't, not quick enough. Pronax comes up from behind and actually doesn't pick up the kill, but it doesn't really matter. They're still going to get the B bomb site. And now Blade and Bondic have to try and retake it. That's a pretty good start to a retake.
That was a sick shot from Blade. Instantly picked up on Olofmeister, who's down to half HP already, but now we're into a 2-on-2. Not sure if Krim spotted out Bondic, who's working his way through B apartments there, but they're going to start putting 2 and 2 together here, Fnatic. Noise in kitchen means that Blade just gave away his position. Fnatic now know there's at least one guy here. JW's taking that position, and JW's going to shut him down instantly. Now it's down to Bondic, who goes for the spray on Krims, but Krims from short will pick up the frag. And Fnatic just continue to shred dAT's money, because dAT are winning a round and then losing a round, and that's pretty much worst case scenario when you're trying to put money together on the CT side. As we can see, they're actually going for another round of eco here, dAT. Oh, are they? Wait, Priz bot. No, are they going to force it up then?
I don't know.
This seems like is either they're taking inspiration from Hellraisers, or that was a misbuy from 2 people.
They've been drinking the Hellraisers Kool-Aid.
Yeah, from the looks of it, that's what we're looking at.
They drink twice as much.
Yeah, they drink twice as much because 2 players bought up, and we can still see World Edit and Bondic, as well as Blade, are sitting well on an eco, a clean eco, more or less.
So this is definitely a slightly insane idea. Unless these 2 Enforcers can just work miracles, this is going to come back to bite that team a lot.
Especially because Fnatic have done a really good job of actually hunting members of dAT down whenever they've gotten into a favorable position and they feel like they have control over the bomb site. So I don't really see how the 2 remaining members from dAT are going to stay alive for the rest of the round.
Well, this is tricky, and they already lost the 1 rifle. Prisrak is alone against 5 with another rifle. And the weird thing is, now in the upcoming round, the rest of the team is going to be able to buy, but then Flamey and Prisrak won't. So they're going to have 2 bad rounds instead of just 1.
Yeah, unless they actually commit fully to, I guess, the YOLO god, I guess, and buy an op on World Edit and buys up on Blade and Bondic and kind of hope for the best from that point on. But that seems somewhat unnecessary and not really in thread with what they've normally done.
A bit of a pause here as we did lose JW on the terrorist side, so he's going to be back hopefully soon enough. That gives us a bit of time to welcome anyone who's joining us since we started. Big thanks for joining us, all of you. Remember to follow the channel and subscribe and all that stuff if you haven't already. We will be giving away some items for our lovely sub-team later. 1 M4, the Asimov here, and we'll also be giving away this knife, the Boreal Forest bayonet. So definitely subscribe if you want to get in on that. And yeah, big thanks to all of you. Subscriber program is a huge benefit to us on the stream here. We really appreciate all of you subbing. It makes a big difference to us. Apart from that, you can also win, and this is everyone, not just subs. You can win in the giveaway that's going on at the bottom, the raffle. Just click the link and follow the instructions, and you'll be good to go. You can win an Asus GeForce graphics card, so definitely win that one. Very nice. Probably handling, I don't know, Counter-Strike at 300 FPS and a lot more than that too, so that's worth doing.
Oh yeah. Then you just have to get your, your 144 hertz monitor to go with that. Get a new mouse pad. So FK1 I hear is pretty good. Just go at it.
Go nuts. Exactly.
Go nuts, man. You need to get the gear, and then you get.
Yes. Well, I mean, so far, Fnatic seem to be very much in control of what's going on here, but it's not like it's utterly out of control for that team. I mean, they're playing, what might be the strongest team in the world. At least it feels like they are right now, Fnatic, in the last couple of weeks here, and they've got 4 rounds, and they could have probably had a little bit more if they hadn't lost some early kills to Flusher in that smoke earlier on. Yeah, I'd say I'd say that team they're stringing along right here. They're not being completely left on the wayside.
Yeah, they aren't. They're still putting up a fight. It's just the way that it's like the way that it's going right now is that Fnatic continuously wreck dAT's money, and dAT aren't like a team that are willing to go for a force. They're not like NiP, who are just like, oh, we have $3,000, okay, bye. They are clearly a team that revolve around wanting to have the gear, wanting to have the nades, and basically wanting to have an AWP for World. Because they realize throughout this entire night so far, the first three maps that they've played tonight, World Edit has played a crucial role for them. So if he has that AWP, he can make an impact. How Fnatic are going about this is basically about as good as it gets for a T side. They're like, okay, we let dAT win 1 round, and then we kill them the next round, so their money is back to 0. Okay, they eco a couple more times, they buy, okay, maybe they win a round, but then we win the next one, and their money is back to 0 again. It's just so tough to deal with. So it's about as good as it gets for Fnatic. As far as they're concerned, they're just like, sweet, everything is perfect right now. They have bank on their side, so even if they lose a round, they can still buy. And they are constantly wrecking dAT's economy. Like, that's the whole thing. The driving force right now behind Fnatic having such a good run is just the fact that dAT never really seemed to have the money to be able to put up a strong fight.
Yeah, and that is, that's one of the really hard things about playing, especially on the CT side. Getting into this pattern where you only, they've only strung 2 rounds together, and that was the pistol and the follow-up round. Apart from that, we just see like single blips of blue on the graph here, and that's not good. About as bad as it could really get. What do you think, Vendetta? What's the solution here? Because we've been talking about World Edit and his AWP, and it's not like he's been doing badly. He's got 10 kills. He's tied with Olofmeister, 1 away from Crims. But they clearly need more than that.
Yeah, they do. And, their age site folds have been pretty okay up till this point. Not that Fnatic have focused heavily on going towards that bomb site, but I think it more or less comes down to shutting down whatever Fnatic tries to do towards B, because up till this point, it doesn't really seem like they've had much of a challenge whenever Fnatic tries to go towards B. So maybe if the solution is pushing up aggressively into B apps or putting an op there or what it might be, I'm not quite sure, but they need to make some sort of a change towards that B bomb defense.
Some sort of change, yeah. It's kind of hard because it's one of the things that makes this bomb site really tricky to defend is the fact that if you just have a rifle and you try and stand close to the truck looking for headshots, there's a bunch of ways you can get flash smoked or just plain grenaded to death, right? And if you try and hold further on down, I mean, we've seen that in some of the rounds they had even when they were in anti-eco, when that had rifles and Fnatic only had pistols, when they were holding close to the wall and, ready right underneath the windows, what actually happens a lot of the time is that you just get jumped. You just can't kill people quick enough. And then you have to, if you hold further back, they can smoke you off and you end up, they end up putting the bomb down and you have to fight for a retake. So I think one of the best ways of doing it is actually having an AWP or an auto sniper sniping in towards the full length of the hallway here, but that's expensive.
It is expensive, but it's more expensive, I guess, to lose rounds and losing the game as a result of not making the changes needed. But I guess in defense, if Prizrak is the guy holding B apps for that team right now, it felt like he was just kind of left alone to hold B apps for the better part of those, at least those 2 rounds, where especially the eco round where Fnatic came through, because, well, he's able to get away from the initial contact with the Fnatic players, and a ton of flashes go out from Fnatic, and they flash him off. And at that point, he has to have whoever's playing short for dAT needs to be able to be close enough to actually help him out, and not just let him go down to basically nothing without getting a single trade, or denying a bomb plant, or holding Fnatic back in apps while the other people rotate over from the bomb site. And they haven't done a good job with that up till this point, but there's still time left in the first half for them to make changes, but I think they need to make them pretty quickly.
They do need to make them quickly. They probably needed to make them even earlier, but it's hard because Fnatic are playing a really bold style as well. A lot of the Fnatic pushes that have been happening have been very fast, with Fnatic smoking and then running almost through their own smokes and just shooting everywhere all at once. So it's kind of hard for that, I think, to get a good read on what they're actually doing. So I'm wondering if it wouldn't be cool for that to basically borrow a book out of what LC were doing on their CT side, which is maybe pushing, 2 people aggressive up in apartments, if for no other reason that, if you find someone, hopefully you'll kill him and you'll be off to a good start. But even if you don't, you will get a lot of information about where Fnatic aren't on the map, and then you can maybe put the rest of your resources somewhere else. So I'm wondering if that would benefit from having more intel on the CT side, basically.
Yeah, definitely. It never hurts to have information as to what's going on as of right now. But the problem is where you're going to try to find that information, because so far Fnatic are not giving them a lot of opportunities to find it in mid, at least. So they're going to have to commit heavily if they want to take control over mid through the smokes that Fnatic are putting down pretty much every round. Or they have to push aggressively into B apps or A apps. And whenever they've gone aggressive towards the A bomb site, it hasn't really worked out for them either. Because it seems like somehow Fnatic just has a feel that this is supposed to happen. We saw it with Bondic as he pushed aggressively into A apps one round. So the question is, where do you want to go aggressively to find that intel?
All over the place.
All over the place. Yeah, I mean, you could go full YOLO and basically go have one guy drop into underpass, one guy rush up mid, and basically hope for the best. That's definitely a possibility. I'm not really sure if we're gonna see that team
all
do
things
that.
Are possible, though, man. All things. I just want to see the straight up YOLO rush everywhere. Double push into A apartments, double push into B apartments, one man into underpass, and just go for it.
Exactly. Always go full YOLO. That is the recommendation from the stream here tonight.
Absolutely.
Now, let's see if that are going to be able to do anything. I mean, this time it's kind of hard for them to do much because they only have pistols. A couple of flashbangs. Maybe they could surprise and upset Fnatic and win a round back. JW, though, pistol in hand, 2 still going to make it work. Olofmeister getting shot in the back, but Bondic's now reloading, and he's actually going to get time to do that.
No, look at this. Is it for real? Yes, it is. Oh, Flusha, he gets caught by Prizrak at the end, but Flusha just comes YOLOing right through the smoke and picks up one. Crims from mid will find Prizrak, who was waiting in window, and it's a 1v3 situation. Now Bondic, he wants JW bad, but JW, he can't be had. You can't get this guy. JW is ridiculous, too. He, misses the op shot, and then he just instant headshots you with the CZ. That combination of op CZ is disgusting when it's on JW. He is so good at it.
Yeah, he really seems to be have completely mastered, the strength of both weapons, and it's quite terrifying actually to see him do it.
It's the best of both worlds. It's okay, JW used to be going between AK and op, right? Well, now he's got both.
Yeah. Oh, they're pushing in towards B, and they almost line up for Prishrak. He could have got a double kill, and he actually needed to do that. Now instead, they've kind of lost the B bomb site. The bomb's making its way back to A though. And Olofmeister's weirdly trapped. He's going to try and jump, and well, that it misses the shot. And that was a critical miss here.
That was a big problem. That's a big missed opportunity. Krim's talking about missed opportunities. Fails to take out World Edit. World Edit gets out of there with 7 HP. And he's still got his AWP. He's rotating over to the A site. And we currently have Pronax sneaking his way out there. He's about to have Olofmeister to back him from A apartments. But World Edit will find that frag on Olofmeister easy.
Yeah, and then scoped up, can't see Pronax hiding in the corner.
Blade is probably going to come from an angle that I'm not sure they're really going to suspect unless he keeps making noise so Crims hears him. And Crims is actually just going to see him. So now, well, the game is up for Blade.
Oh, and look at the... What? Are both
They're
of them?
doing it
No,
again.
okay. I was about to say, like, are both of them running around? Because Crims is, you know, he went with Pronax pretty quick there. But yeah, they're doing it. Like, Pronax is going for the ultimate wraparound. And Blade isn't going to enjoy it.
No, he's gonna smoke it up. I mean, I don't really blame him for trying to go for like a ninja type thing here, but it's not gonna work. He takes down one. Go! Oh my god! What? He gets the kill, and I don't think there's enough time anyway. Oh, Blade! It's not gonna work. It was down to the last second. He got both the kills, but that Fnatic wraparound that's just what it is, right? That's their style now. They've done it so much in the last 2 days.
Yeah, and for good reason, because they haven't lost a single time doing it. So you can't really fault them. Although they came really close that time around. Pronax got a bit too eager. I don't think he actually noticed the fact that the smoke wasn't covering the bomb at all. So yeah, a bit shaky from Fnatic, but still get the round.
That was way too close.
Look how aggressive they're being. I mean, again, just charging up onto Catwalk and into Whorehouse, and now they've occupied that. Olofmeister is going to pick off Blade. Definitely a hyper-aggressive Fnatic team we're dealing with here.
Olofmeister makes it out of there intact. Flush is still alive on short. Does the 180, picks up both. Pronax will find Prizrak in the meantime, and we're into a 1-on-4 at this point. Last man alive is Bondic over on the A site. He's stomping around on balcony as well, so Olofmeister knows he's here. But it's going to be Flusher who's going to just come in and wobble Olofmeister up the frag.
Yeah, no chance at all. Bondic, 25 health, is going to take off Olofmeister, and that's going to be the end of the first half. Flusher with a triple, and we end up at 11-4 in favor of the Swedish Fnatic lineup. Yeah, that team, I think they were never in a position where they could have taken the majority of the rounds, but I think they could have ended up at something like 6 or 7 here in the first half instead of the 4 that they got.
They definitely could have picked up a couple more rounds, but Fnatic are playing a really solid game right now. And you see how quickly they get out onto the map. They're just so good at denying any sort of control that that team would have liked to have over mid. You can, like, before, like, at the same time as the smokes pop off and mid, they already have 2 people up on short.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was wondering about as well, because they really are just super fast. But now it's that team's turn. Wow, that's hard to say somehow. That team's turn to see if they can win this pistol round and maybe bring themselves a little bit closer. JW is going to go down to Blade, so a good start.
Yeah, very good start. Pronax nearly getting caught as well, down to 8 HP. Flusha from short will find Blade, though. That's going to open things up here for the B site. Pronax is going to get rushed down by Bondic, but Flusha at range trying to find a shot. He's not going to do it, but he is slowing up the process somewhat. Prizrak is only just now getting the plant.
They spotted a couple of people here. Dangerous game being played. Flusher out of bullets. Still, oh, just with the last bullet. Going to pick off Prizrak. I'm not sure it's quite enough here. Flusher's the only one who has any health on the CT side, and the bomb is already ticking. And that team are going to make it work. They win the pistol. They did that on the first half too. Now they just need to secure the next, the next 2 rounds at least.
Yeah, exactly. They need to survive the anti-eco, basically, because Olofmeister's going Deagle. Flusha not wasting any time, going straight up CZ. It's 3 CZs, a 5-7 on Pronax, because he is like the 5-7 champion. Even at Gamescom, he was just going 5-7 all the time when it came to buying pistols, so he's not interested in the CZ, which is really weird when you think it's Pronax, and how Pronax was just like, when the AUG was Imba, when it got buffed like that, Pronax had like this hard on board. He was just like, if you don't use this gun, you're stupid. And yet, here he is using a 5-7 instead of a CZ. What's the matter, Pronax? What happened? Well, Flush is just demonstrating. Basically,
I was going to say,
this is how it's done, man.
Case in point right there. Bondic in the middle fighting it out. This is really scary. Pronax jumping once. Already spotted out Prizrak, who's up there. This could go really badly for that team. It already is sort of derailing for them. They need to get back on the track to win this round. Because if Fnatic win here, I don't think they're going to let go.
No, they're never going to let go, man. They never give up, never surrender. And Fnatic, they pick up yet another anti-eco. Or rather, they pick up an eco round. So at this, like, we look now, World Edit 4,200. He's got some money, but the rest of them are all floating around 2,000. or even lower, 1500. Like, this is not looking good for dAT, and they're running out of room to work with at this point. Fnatic 12 rounds on the board, they only need 4. They're gonna have a great opportunity now to get some bank on their side as well. They've got a swag and an ump picked up. That's a lot of basically money potential for kills right there in those 2 guns. And there you go.
The Mag 7 takes down Flamey, and JW with a kill as well. Flusher weirdly caught on the fence in the middle. JW could be going down here if he repeats, but he's going to get a little bit of backup, and Bondek coming up from behind. These Glocks are doing more damage than I think they should, but not enough to get the kills on olofmeister and JW, and it will still be 13-5 here. Fnatic 3 rounds away from taking the first map already.
Yeah, they're very close. We gotta love Blade going for the knife attempt there in that last round. That was pretty sick. And through the smoke, he just goes leaping through. He got behind Cribs, but JW had the CZ watching Cribs back, and well, it didn't work out that time. They knew how low JW was. And to get that bonus money would have been pretty nice, but it wasn't meant to be. World Edit's going to get tagged already to start, but look at the close position here from olofmeister. He's right around the corner at T-Pit.
And he's going to jump through the smoke after the flashbang. This is complete madness. Normally you put up that smoke to prevent people from coming your way, and olofmeister's going to go down. He missed the initial slug coming out there, so now Flusher's the one defending the bomb site. 2 on 3 here, and backup is only just coming in now for Flusher. That team have slowed it up, and maybe that's a mistake, because now Pronax is here.
Yeah, they've rotated over. Flamey has got the AWP, though. Goes for the flick shot onto Flusher. Not going to land it, but he gets it on the second try, and now it's Pronax 1v2. Prizrak is already looking towards Pronax. Is it going to happen? Pronax is dancing with the angle, and Priz is going to get it. Nicely done.
Okay, so Vendetta, that round, was it Fnatic being too aggressive for their own good, or did that team do something special to win that?
That team didn't do anything special, really. It all started with Crims getting caught out. He did not expect the quick push in apps from that team, for good reason as well, because that hasn't really showed any aggression towards the apps early on in the rounds previously. So he got caught out on top of stairs, and that kind of led everything going that team's way.
This time, they start off pretty well. Crims in the middle, trying to run away here. He's got very little health. Pronax is going to come up from short, has the pistol in hand. Not a 5.7 this time, but a P250 is still going to be just fine. Takes down Blade, and somehow we're still back into a 3-on-3.
Yeah, this is the thing. It's like the power of that. They still find ways to turn this around. Pronax is just trying to stand his ground. Flamey will find a frag as well. And that's going to open everything up here. B site could be the place to be if they can get that bomb over here, but they still have a minute left on the clock. olofmeister's still kind of floating around window right now, but he doesn't really have a target unless he spotted out World Edit and Delpan, but it doesn't look like it.
There's 45 seconds left, and the bomb is going to be making its way to B here. Actually, a very scary situation if Prisnak goes down, because then olofmeister is going to be in a perfect situation to fight one-on-one versus Flamey. And Olof made his way in here. He's going to go down. Couldn't scope up quick enough. And a good kill from Prisnak. Very important, in fact. And did they save the orb? Yes, they did. All right, then. 13-7.
Well, this is dAT's opportunity to at least try to claw their way back into the game, because Fnatic are now in an eco. They might even have to double eco, depending on how this eco turns out. Or if they want to just, or if they're content with just forcing up, really, and getting some FAMASs and kind of limp a little bit on nades. But we'll see how that turns out. But this is definitely the opportunity and the window that dAT has to come back into it.
Yeah, exactly. They've forced Nico out of Fnatic. They can get a couple rounds on the board here, potentially. JW gets caught lurking around underpass. That's going to be a nice kill for Flamey. Crims gets caught, but actually manages to get out of it unscathed. Thought that that was a good opportunity there for dAT, but they don't actually manage to follow up on it. In the meantime, Fnatic, they're still kind of spread out. We do have a good push up in A apartments coming in from olofmeister, getting a lot of information for his team. And Flusha will get the drop on Bonic from window and mid.
Yeah, just a casual pick-off from Flusher. Execution-style Prisrak with a good spray from the AK. And now Flusher's coming in for kitchen here. Trying to see if he can maybe kill someone, but they smoke it off, and they're going to kill him through the smoke as well. olofmeister, well, maybe a kill or two here if he's really good, but that team are going to stabilize. Doing just fine right now.
Looking very good indeed. Just one round at a time at this point. That's what's going through dAT team's mind. Just one round at a time. Get the bank. Make sure you have some breathing room, and then continue to pressure Fnatic, who are going to go for a buy in this round. So no AWP for JW. JW's actually going to buy a rifle. I was wondering, because we've seen him do it in the past where he just goes CZ in armor with nades, and he'll just leave a couple thousand in the bank right now for the next round, basically, to try and buy an AWP, but he fully commits. They aren't messing around right now, Fnatic. They go 5 rifles.
And they go for a very aggressive push down the middle with 3 people, in fact. 2 of them covering, and Pronax pushed up a little, Olofmeister pushed up a little bit. And that could be a problem here. Now, Crims is going to go down after taking 1 kill. If they get smoked off here, that should be a bomb plant for that team.
The big issue for that team right now is that how are they going to know about Olofmeister? Actually, Prizrak.
Oh my god, he knows.
This is
very, very, great intuition. Olof goes down. That would have been such a great flank and almost a round-winning flank coming out from Olofmeister, but somehow he gets spotted.
Yeah, they knew. Flush has started to push out onto the site, however. There's still 2 guys alive, but a molly goes down onto that bomb site. Smoke goes down to cancel it. And now Bondic, A Apartments, is going to get a freebie frag. This is big. They're just shredding them at this point. Fnatic are trying to make plays onto this site. They think somebody is actually on that bomb site defusing, and World Edit will shoot Bondic.
Someone was on the bomb site, but he wasn't defusing. He was actually knifing the bomb to try and make sure JW wasn't in there. What a great moment in time. That's going to be 9-13, and Fnatic are back to ecoing, except for the 1 rifle they saved from that round. Oh, God. I mean, just to put things into perspective here for everyone who's just joining us here. Last week, Fnatic 60-node NIP. Now, it wasn't on Mirage, was it? I think it was on...
Might have been on Mirage as well.
Dust,
Dust, right. But still, they 60-node NIP. So for that team to have made it all the way to 9 rounds is actually pretty impressive right now.
Yeah, it's really solid. This is just excellent. I mean, they're making the right call, and they're really playing it quite well right now. Fnatic not landing the shots, and that's really what a lot of this is coming down to as well. Olofmeister getting sniffed out as well by that round. But look at Crims, he's pushing up into A Apartments. He's alone though this time around, and Flamey's going to win that duel handily. Now JW will be in the perfect position actually, but he has a gun right now. But still, now we can actually see a teammate of his get into window and pick up an AK if they want. No, it's not going to happen though.
Not too far away. World Edit going to pick up that 1 kill, and they could go to either bomb site right now, and it will probably work out. The only thing they have to worry about is JW finally... No, still nobody picking up that gun. They're too far away. Pronax is an underpass looking for Blade and is finally going to be able to take him down. So it's a 3-on-3 now.
No, and he doesn't get around the corner. I thought for a second he might make it.
Look at JW, though.
Look at Flusha.
Please, Flusha. He's going to go down. JW, 20 seconds here. It's a 1-on-2. Are they going to check? They won't check. He's going to pick up nobody, in fact. Bondig will take him down. All right, then. So it's a bit of an interesting 1-on-2. It looked like he could have actually lined it up and killed both. He had the spray for it, but not quite good enough here. 13-10. That team winning the last 5 rounds in a row. And Fnatic forced to eco a lot more than they want to, but now they're finally back on rifles.
Man, right now, that's actually kind of uncharacteristic, but now JW has the AWP. So now it's his time to shine, basically. And he's going to have to step up because World Edit is just looking better and better right now, missing hardly any shots at all. And it's shaping up to be a quick B play here. World Edit taking point, but now Prizrak is about to swap positions with him. Little pop flash there from Pronax. Does he have the opportunity to find a frag, though? And he picks Prizrak out of the air.
Sick defense from Pronax here. Flusha helping out. Gets a double kill before anything else happens. JW... AWP in hand, misses the next shot here. Flamey, and actually JW almost gets grenaded from his teammates. And that's going to be Crims to finish the round. So Fnatic with a very solid defense here at that bomb site. And, being Pronax, that initial kill was pretty... It looked cool, if nothing else.
That was also pretty important. It gave Flusha time to actually pick up 2 frags from Catwalk right there. So definitely good job by Pronax of actually buying time. And that's pretty much what Prizrak needed to do on that team's CT side. Just get that one guy or buy enough time for your teammates to actually be able to help you or get a trade. So yeah, definitely. I'm a bit confused about the smoke that Pronax keeps throwing into the BFs because he's throwing it so far in before he even has the opportunity to actually get up into BFs. Like this time around, he's actually had the opportunity, but then in the previous round, that team has no problem actually just walking through the smoke before Pronax had any opportunity to actually get into a position. Yeah, to use that smoke to his advantage.
Which means they could have actually caught him jumping up on the truck or something like that if he was unlucky. Yeah, I'm not sure about that either, but I am sure about World Edit picking up that kill on Flusha. That's a big opening. That team have got to win this round. If they lose this round, they're going to be ecoing for you know, for Fnatic's map point, and that would be very, very bad. So it's kind of now or never. And a little bit of GoTV lag here, a bit of a stutter there, as JW and Olofmeister do pick up 2 kills.
Yeah, bring it back to a 3-on-3, and Pronax is still alive on short right now. Not quite sure. JW's gonna miss a shot. He gets the headshot with the P2K instead. Pronax finds Prizrak over in mid, but still, JW. That was not what I expected to see there. Alright. Fnatic now on match point, though. This is the important bit. They put a lot of money into that last round, and going into this one, they're fairly broke. They're fighting for overtime, and they can only afford 1 rifle, a couple CZs, a couple guns, but this is going to be rough. That team, not sure what they're going to go for. It seems like it's going to be the straight-up YOLO B play.
Yeah, they were certainly gearing up for it, but Pronax's smoke is going to confuse them as well as us, and Prizrak is going to eat only 5 points of damage from that grenade, so not too impressive, in fact.
I thought it was going to be worse for sure.
Yeah.
Blade is setting up for an A play now, actually. He chucks a smoke over that should go towards connector. Bondic apparently trying to see if he can spray through into window. There's a wallbang spot there?
Yeah, they can. Okay, learning new things. I did not realize that. It's very cool. I'm looking forward to seeing that in action. Grenades raining down. Flusher gets caught, but not quite enough. AK still going to come out on top. That's Blade going down. And now look how they're being sandwiched in. Almost like shooting fish in a barrel right here for Fnatic. It's Bondic left in a 1-on-3. And this is going to be for the map. Flusher finishes it. Triple kill. JW at 27 kills top Friday at the end of this map. 16-10 in favor of Fnatic. But again, overall, not at all bad play coming out here for that team.